Hey guys, Brandon here. Just thought I'd make a quick video documenting how I repaired my 2005 LX470's oil pressure gauge after it stopped working. The same thing as usual, the plastic sleeve here on this piece that's separated from this magnet, so when the magnet spins, the plastic gear does not, and the gauge does not move. You can either disassemble it yourself and re-glue the plastic to the magnet, or just purchase a Landcruiser 6S stepper motor and take out the internal components. I kind of like that idea because you get an extra set of coils, and if you damage anything, it gives you backup parts. I did damage mine the first time I did it. When I lined up the gears and snapped it all back together, the gears hadn't been lined up properly and they got mushroomed over, so the motor would not work. I had to purchase another stepper motor, which you're looking at the top half of it right here, and use the internal components in my Lexus motor. But the repair and assembly process is still going to be the same. So normally this top cover on the Lexus motor has a large assembly on this side with the spring and whatever else for the lighting circuit on the needle. You're going to want to build some kind of holder to hold it tight. And while it may be difficult, I found that assembling it backwards gave me the ability to line up all the gears properly before snapping the bottom cover over all three. So the first thing I did was grab the middle gear, and it actually nests underneath this gear right here, which is why this is difficult to line up. And I guess I'm not going to worry about alignment too much in here, because that'll add a lot of time to this video. But there's a diagram for how the holes should be aligned. I'm not certain it's really that important, but don't quote me on that. So once I get that middle gear in there nice and centered, I'm going to grab my coil. This is why I fully desoldered my motor. And I'm then going to try and place it gently inside the top half like this. And I'm going to line up that center hole in the winding here, or this little metal bracket, with the center hole on that gear. And then this is kind of unconventional. I was able to remove this metal post with great effort, a little pair of pliers and some pulling, from the top or the bottom side of the cover, and then actually slide it through myself to line everything up over here, which really helped a lot. And then once that gear is in, I grab my magnet gear. You get your alignment marks, line them up. It's going to go bottom side down, and those teeth are going to have to mesh. Now, as it's a magnet, it's going to want to move around. You're going to have to try and just push it and feel it. You're going to kind of feel when everything's in there, and then you can somehow give it a bit of a spin. It's going to be harder than you realize. And just try and see, is your gear lined up? Now, because this is magnetic, it kind of wants to pull up and float a little bit. So you're going to have to play with it a bit here. Even though we're no longer lined up. Looks like we're engaged. And then once it's all lined up like this and you're sure you're lined up here, you're going to grab your top cover and you're going to grab your alignment pin, and you're just going to very carefully, it's going to be hard to do on video, line everything up. This is a really rough way to do it. I did this a lot more carefully. You're going to snap it all back together, and hopefully your motor works. And you're going to want to turn it and try and see if you feel the same amount of resistance as before. You're going to want to make sure you can turn it and it stops at the little stops. And if you did everything right, it should move freely. Now this one again has mangled gears, so this one doesn't move very nicely. But that is the gist of how I reassembled it and put it back together. And mine is now working again because of that. Hopefully this is helpful. Again, this is just a 6S stepper from a Landcruiser. I just used the internal parts, swapped them over to the Lexus motor. It's the same except for all the crap on this side. And the gauge is working good again. Hope this video helped you guys out. I spent a good amount of time thinking about this. And one other post on I Hate Mud really helped a lot. Basically, he did all the work and just explained how it worked, and I figured it out on my own. Decided to make this video. Thank you guys for watching.